Hi, welcome to Julius Bar. Today we're gonna mix a hot coffee cocktail. So, today I'm gonna mix a cocktail that's hot, not cold. Might be the first time you see something hot in this channel because I almost never prepare hot cocktails. And besides being a bit more of a niche cocktail category, it's also because I think I did an Irish coffee cocktail video and it was my worst performing video ever, so I thought maybe people don't care. But I found this recipe called Kyoki cocktail which attracted my attention. It's a recipe originally from 1967 by George Burlington. Recently it's been revived by Jeffrey Morgenthaler, an influential bartender of our times. I checked out the recipe that I could find online, and what I did, I changed them. Because I tried it and I thought, yeah, maybe you can fix it here and there and change it into something I really like. So, first of all, let's start warming up some water. And while we warm up the water, I'm gonna tell you a bit more about this cocktail. So, the original recipe had bonded brandy, wine brandy from US. It had chocolate liqueur, crème de cacao, and coffee liqueur. The version by Jeffrey Morgenthaler skipped the coffee liqueur and added some sugar. My version is not gonna have any added sugar. It's gonna have some cynar, some amaro to give the cocktail a bit more body, which I felt it was lacking, and some more bitters to give a tiny bit of spiciness that was also lacking. The most interesting ingredient in this cocktail is this overproof brandy. It's called Abbardente Ambrato. It comes at 47%, so it's not one of the American things. It's made in Sardinia and it's made from the distillation of local wines, so it's really brandy. It's aged and I think it's excellent. This category of overproof brandy, I think it's awesome because I love myself a cognac and armagnac, but the great majority of them, they come at 40%. And sometimes the 40% feels really a bit weak for people that got used to single malt whiskey, overproof rum and stuff like that. So I really appreciate whenever I can find a overproof brandy, and this is the one and only case actually I found it. I bought it in Italy, it's not imported in Japan. It's pretty rare, it was not that cheap, but I'm really happy because it's also really good. With that being said, let's do some preparation for our coffee. One thing about this cocktail, it uses filter coffee, not espresso, which I'm not an expert in at all, but I have here this coffee from Colombia. Let's also warm up the cup we are gonna use for our cocktail, and then let's prepare the coffee. By the way, if you're wondering about my finger and what's wrong with me, I got injured again. I told you about the cut I made at my wrist. That's ill, but I was playing soccer a week or so ago and a guy right in front of me shoot right in my chest, and I was having my hand just here and he hit the point of my finger, which bended. It's not broken, but it's not straight anymore, so doctor suggested I keep this for a few weeks. So now that our coffee is ready, let's prepare the cocktail in our hot mug, starting with 1 dash of malt bitters, then 7.5 milliliter or a quarter of an ounce of cynar. I tried other amari too, but cynar worked best. Then 22.5 milliliter or 3/4 of an ounce of crème de cacao. I like this crème de cacao, but as I said before, I think it's a bit of a rip-off because it's mostly sugar. And then we conclude with 22.5 milliliter or 3/4 of an ounce of our overproof brandy, in this case a aged abbardente from Sardinia. We then add 60 milliliters of coffee. And we conclude by topping with some whipped cream. Be careful not to overbeat it. I'm gonna try to be careful. Let's pour it gently. And let's conclude by topping the top with some grated cinnamon. And there you go, my variation on the Kioki cocktail. I would like to call this the Kioki cocktail. Spell like this. And be careful about the punctuation. Cheers. Ooh, cinnamon. Yeah, this is pretty delicious. For me, this is fine. Any more sugar, it's gonna be too much. This is just right. The amount of alcohol we have in, it's not much, but because we are also using an overproof brandy, it still hits you a nice amount. It's not too strong though. I think it's lighter than an Irish coffee. The cream on top is always delicious. And I like the touch of bitterness and spiciness I added by including some cynar and some malt bitters. By the way, these malt bitters, I made them with a standard recipe I found online. And in this context, I actually don't mind the fact that this is not an espresso. It actually works better with this lighter kind of coffee. It makes it an easier sipper and really quite pleasant. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with anybody you like and don't like. Prepare yourself a hot cocktail. Outside it's cold, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. So, are you frustrated about Italian names and you don't know how to pronounce Italian words? Have you ever find yourself saying bruschetta or maraschino? Stop there right now. I'm gonna teach you in 10 minutes everything you need to know about Italian pronunciation of words. So first of all, we have the vowels. These are super easy. They are A, E, I, O, U, and that's it. That's all you have to know. And they're always pronounced the same way. Maybe E and O sometimes are pronounced slightly different, but who cares? Actually, we pronounce them differently between each region of Italy, and people from different regions make fun of other people because they pronounce them differently, but so you don't have to care. Just say E or O. But next we get to the most common mispronunciation by foreigner when they're trying to say Italian words, and that's related to C and G. So while the H in Italian is silent, in fact I have no H pronunciation myself, I'm really bad. If I have to say hotel, I really have to try hard. Normally in Italy you say hotel. But while he has no pronunciation by itself, in this configuration it makes these sounds like an RK, followed by a vowel. So we have K, K, Ki, Ko, Ku. While to have a soft C, you have to omit the H in these two cases, and these are Chi and Che. So for example, one of my favorite producers, Cocchi, is spelled like this, and you see as C-H-I, but becomes a Chi, Cocchi. And the same is true for G. So like these two words, this is Magi. Magi are the three wise men that came from the Asia to bring present to Jesus, or the computers in Neon Genesis Evangelion, while this is Magi, which means wizards. Now let's go on to S. S is a bit tricky because if it's starting the word or it's a double, it's soft or unvoiced. Like for example, Sassoni. Both the first S and the double S are soft. Sassoni, the famous brand of tonic water. While if you have a word like cosa, which has a lonely S in the middle of the word, the S becomes strong. Cosa. More like Z. And also the Z is a bit tricky because we have a voice Z, and when it's double Z, it's unvoiced. And this also changes between word and word. Classically, you might have pizza. The double Z, it's more like a Z. Pizza. It's not really a Z anymore. While if you have a word like zodiaco, the Z, the first Z is strong. Zodiaco. Anyway, as I said, there are exceptions to this. And now for the pro level, which are ñ and y, are two sounds that actually are not available in English, kind of uncommon, really. So when you have a GN, while in English you will pronounce both gn, like magnetic, in Italian the word becomes magnetico. Magnetico. It's not magnetico, it's magnetico. Okay, this can be a bit hard. And the other exception is L. You might know that olio means oil, like in olive oil, while olio is the river next to my hometown. Olio, olio. But these are pro level stuff. If you start getting the C and G stuff and the S and Z and the vowels right, you're pretty much 99% there on pronunciation of Italian. So, never mispronounce an Italian word again.